Coming up, public sector. Millions of teachers, nurses and the military in line for a pay rise.
The Lunchtime News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good afternoon. Teachers, nurses, police officers and members of the armed forces could see their wages increase next year after the Treasury confirmed the Chancellor will end the year-long public sector pay freeze in tomorrow's budget. But ministers have refused to guarantee whether more than 5 million public sector workers will get a real term salary increase. Labour say many could still feel worse off as the cost of living continues to rise. Our political correspondent Libby Vina reports.
Going up public sector pay. After confirmation that the freeze will end, the question now is by how much. The contribution.
Well, let's go to Westminster now and I'll be bringing you the budget live here on ITV. Tom and our team of editors will tell you what it will mean for you and the rest of the country. Well, moving on, and a search and rescue mission is taking place off the coast of Essex. Border Force officers are urgently responding to an ongoing incident in the sea near the port town of Harwich. The Coast Guard is coordinating the operation with RNLI boats also in attendance. Julie. Over the last 7 months, ITV News has been investigating the appalling living conditions in social housing. Following our reports, England's Housing Ombudsman announced its own investigation. Well, today their findings were published and they showed not only are residents' complaints not being taken seriously, they are often being blamed for the uninhabitable conditions. Our correspondent with our ITV News investigations. This report into the state of social housing in England, pretty damning, isn't it?
Yeah, damning is the word. Are effectively blamed for the mould and damp in their homes. And that's something we found in our investigation. People told to open across England. The Ombudsman said he was shocked by those conditions. He's also been shocked, he says, by what he's found in his own report. Now, he may be shocked. I can tell you tenants we've spoken to across the country are not shocked. Part of the problem here is that Shireen didn't even know the Ombudsman existed. Or levelling up housing communities, as it's now known, has said in a statement the conditions highlighted by...
Right, Daniel, thank you. The mother of two sisters who were murdered in a London park says an apology from the Metropolitan Police over how its officers handled the investigation has come 10 months too late. Bieber Henry and Nicole Smallman were stabbed to death in June last year while out celebrating Bieber's birthday. A 19-year-old man has been sentenced to life in prison. The Met's apology follows the findings of a report from the Independent Office for Police Conduct. Will Carrie Davis. Still to come. But first, a boycott of some of the country's nightclubs is expected to continue tonight after almost 200 spiking incidents were reported to police in the last 2 months. Young people in Durham, Liverpool and Leicester will avoid clubs tonight after a similar protest in Exeter yesterday. Last week, the Home Secretary called for an urgent update from police on their investigations into reported spiking of drinks and also injections being used. Well, let's talk now to... Police in Australia have been searching the home of a toddler who has been missing for 11 days. 4-year-old Cleo Smith was last seen camping with her parents near Carnarvon on the west coast. Her mum has appealed for her to be returned safely. Sangeeta Kandola reports. The Queen has carried out virtual audiences at Windsor Castle. Now, many of us took up a new hobby during lockdown, but how many of us stuck with it? Well, as lockdown projects go, Simon George may have beat everyone with his 60-metre-long model railway. Simon set about recreating his favourite childhood spot from 1983 and spent £250,000 in the process. It's now the biggest of its kind in Britain. Hannah Miller went for a look trackside. Whether you're into trains or not, that is a pretty impressive achievement. And that is it this lunchtime. A reminder, Tom Bradby will be here at the earlier time of 12:15 tomorrow lunchtime with a special budget programme. He'll have all the key announcements and he'll bring you expert analysis. Mary will be here with the evening news at 6:30. But for now, from everyone on the lunchtime team, bye-bye. Hello again. Now the main stories in London. Police say the 8 men being questioned over the murders of 2 teenage boys in Brentwood are aged between 19 and 49. Animal rights activists have scaled the Home Office building in Westminster, demanding the government supports a plant. Another injunction has been issued banning environmental protesters from blocking roads, this time covering roads across the country. Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe's husband says he will continue his hunger strike in Whitehall until the government listens to his demands and does more to free his wife. And renowned acrobatic show, the Cirque du Soleil, will return to the Royal Albert Hall next year. And that is all from us for now. Duncan will be back here at 6. Until then, enjoy your afternoon. Bye-bye.